Call the roll, Alder.
It's now 7 o'clock. Trustee Lawrence? Here. Trustee Lawler?
Here.
Trustee Lieblatt?
Here.
Trustee Healy?
Here.
Trustee Katsinas?
Here.
Trustee Malani?
Here.
Mayor Dodge?
Here.
Okay, at this time, I'd ask you to rise for the Pledge of Allegiance, and I'd ask Will Davis from Orland Boy Scout Troop 318 to come up and lead us in the pledge.
I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Approval of the September 2nd, 2025 regular meeting minutes. We are looking for a motion.
Mr. Chairman,
Trustee Katsinas.
I move to approve the minutes of the Board of Trustee meeting of September 2nd, 2025.
Second.
The motion and a second. Any comments or questions on the minutes? Call the roll, please.
Trustee Katsinas?
Aye.
Trustee Leafblat?
Aye.
Trustee Lawrence?
Aye.
Trustee Lawler?
Aye.
Trustee Healy?
Aye.
Trustee Malani?
Aye.
Mayor Dodge?
Aye.
At this time, we will proceed to advisory board appointments. We're looking for a motion.
Mr. Mayor,
Trustee Lawler.
I move to consent the appointments by President Dodge as fully referenced below. This part is for reference only. Oh, sorry.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. Any comments or questions?
Who was the second?
Call the roll, please. Trustee Katsinas, second.
Trustee Lawler?
Aye.
Trustee Katsinas?
Aye.
Trustee Lawrence?
Aye.
Trustee Leafblat?
Aye.
Trustee Healy?
Aye.
Trustee Malani?
Aye.
Mayor Dodge?
Aye.
We'll proceed to non-scheduled citizens and visitors for agenda-specific public comment.
Mr. Sullick, would you like to go now as opposed to waiting to the end of the meeting?
Sure. Sometimes I can't make it.
It's all yours, as a courtesy. You're welcome.
My name is Joe Solik. I live in Orland Park, 9722 154th Street. At the last meeting, this board voted to continue the 1% grocery tax, even though your slate ran on the promise of reducing the tax burden on residents. We were told the tax would bring in $4.5 million annually. When Trustee Healy asked if that amount could be found through efficiencies or reduced expenditures, the practical answer was no. But clearly, money has been found for plenty of unbudgeted spending. During the pickleball discussion, we learned that courts at Dugan Park cost $38,000 each, while 4 courts behind the Sportsplex are projected at $125,000 each. Canceling just the Sportsplex project would save a significant sum. Beyond that, we've seen a $60,000 PR position created for a campaign volunteer, a $171,000 intern program the village never needed before, a $440,000 tree trimming program, and a $90,000 outreach director role with no job description, filled by your campaign manager and former business partner. None of these expenses were in the budget, and the relationship between you and the outreach director was never disclosed when voted upon. Together, that's broadly $1.5 million in new spending, plus $1.5 million more in debt. And it hasn't stopped. The village just spent $1.3 million on land at 171st and Wolf Road to block a repo lot. That may be a positive outcome, but it came with no plan, just a vague promise to fix flooding, no engineering, no cost estimate, no strategy. It looks like another triangle fiasco in the making. Buy the land, no plan, figure it out later. Meanwhile, the mayor moved his office to a less visible location in Village Hall and installed a pawn shop style buzzer to control resident access. Why? Who was he hiding from? Again, done outside the budget. Our current debt is $90 million. According to the auditor, yet the village manager recently raised future debt projection from $250 million to $270 million in just 2 weeks, with no votes to justify it. Trustee Healy was right to be astounded. The mayor's answer was we're on a glide path to that number if we keep spending like this. But, Mr. Mayor, the trajectory is not inevitable. It can be stopped. If this board commits to governing within the budget, stops creating new positions and programs, and ends this pattern of spending first and planning later. Winning an election is one thing, governing responsibly is another. The question is, when will this board start governing for the residents instead of itself? Thank you.
Thank you for your comments. Ma'am, we have one more. Please make sure you identify yourself when you come to the microphone.
Hi, my name is Cheryl Johnson. I live here in Orland Park. I just wanted to make a comment on an agenda item that's coming up later on Evergreen View changes at our park. I've been a resident of Evergreen View for over 20 years, and my home is very close to the park. I was able to review the second survey results earlier today. First, I'm glad that the survey shows that the splash pad is unpopular. There are much better locations for a water feature, such as Centennial Park or another more appropriate spot. Therefore, I ask that you would please vote against placing a splash pad in the midst of our neighborhood. Excuse me. Second, switching to the pickleball courts. I do have concerns about the noise that it will introduce into the area, and to be clear, I would prefer that no courts are installed. Yet, I see it's a popular option. The survey results show that approximately 20% wanted no courts at all. Another 20% preferred one court. So I can't predict how disruptive that the noise level will be, but 60% of the people are requesting 2 courts. So if you do elect to move forward, I wonder if it isn't reasonable to compromise and reduce the number to 1 court rather than going from 0 to 2. At least that would lessen any negative impact to nearby homes. Also, it will be less expensive and troublesome later on if the village has to respond to complaints with some form of acoustic mitigation. I hope that you take this into consideration when you vote. Lastly, the majority of neighbors that I spoke to myself truly value the park the way it is now. And our hope is that any changes made will only enhance our neighborhood and preserve its peaceful character. I appreciate you all taking time tonight to listen to me, carefully weighing my concerns and viewpoints. Thank you.
Thank you. Next item.
Accounts payable, September 2nd, 2025 through September 15th, 2025, approval.
Mr. Mayor,
Trustee Healy?
I move to approve the accounts payable September 3rd, 2025 through September 15th, 2025
Second.
in the amount of $4,346,308.25.
Second.
There's a motion, a second. Any comments or questions? Call the roll.
Trustee Healy?
Aye.
Trustee Liebler?
Aye.
Trustee Lawrence?
Aye.
Trustee Lawler?
Aye.
Trustee Katsinas?
Aye.
Trustee Malani?
Aye.
Mayor Dodge.
Aye.
We will now proceed to the consent agenda. A, payroll for August 15th, 2025 approval. B, approval of the Board of Trustees closed session minutes. C, special event permit for Orland Square Mall, Boo Bash, approximately 400 people. D, Microsoft Enterprise Agreement, software licensing renewal, change order. E, 2025 Facilities Preventative Maintenance, change order number 3. F, special event permit for Orland Park Crossings / Edwards Realty Company, Spirit of America - Carnival and Car Show, approximately 1,000 people per day. G, Orland Park Health and Fitness Center 2026 membership fees. H, amend Title VII, Chapter 4, number of Class H liquor licenses as an ordinance. I, ITB number 25-048, Centennial Park dugout fencing. J, special event permit for a wedding celebration at Elements by the Odyssey, approximately 150 people.
Mr. Mayor,
Trustee Leafblad.
I move to approve items A through J of the consent agenda.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. Any comments or questions?
Mr. Mayor,
Trustee Lawrence?
I have just one comment, and it's regarding item F, special event permit for Orland Park Crossing for a Spirit of America Carnival and Car Show.
Chairman, point of order.
Trustee Malani?
If we're going to deliberate something off the consent agenda, we have to pull it off.
Yes.
I wasn't going to deliberate, I was just going to make a comment. Is there a difference?
There's no comments, it's a consent agenda.
Okay, I'll make a comment at the end. Thank you.
Hang on one second. Would you like to discuss the item? We're happy to pull it off. Trustee Lawler, Leafblad can amend her.
I can amend my motion.
We can pull it off, Dina, no worries.
I can amend.
No, I'm not, it's not a concern for pulling it off or for a separate vote.
Okay.
Not at all. It was just a comment.
Then let's call the roll.
Trustee Leafblad.
Aye.
Trustee Lawler.
Aye.
Trustee Lawrence.
Aye.
Trustee Healy.
Aye.
Trustee Katsinas.
Aye.
Trustee Malani.
Aye.
Mayor Dodge.
Aye.
Proceed to Public Works. Catalina subdivision water main and storm sewer replacement, additional oversight, dash change order request number 4. Motion?
Mr. Mayor,
Trustee Lawler?
I move to approve change order number 4 and contract addendum number 3 to change order number 3 and addendum number 2 dated August 3rd, 2023 with Christopher B. Burke Engineering of Rosemont, Illinois for supplemental oversight and engineering services of the Catalina subdivision Phase 1 through 3 engineering for water main and stormwater improvements to increase the 2025 contract amount by $179,155 for a new not-to-exceed contract amount of $539,997.67 for fiscal year 2025, and authorize the village manager to execute all related contracts subject to village attorney review.
Is there a second?
Second.
There's a motion and a second. George, Joel, provide background on this? Any questions?
No.
Any comments or questions from the board?
Joel also, in addition to this, also has a little bit of a construction update on Catalina, so that just keep everyone up to speed.
I can do that.
We can do as part of this agenda. Floor is open, go ahead.
Okay, thank you, Mayor, Board. Tonight, we'll be presenting a short brief on the Catalina project. Back in February, we kind of gave this brief of the zones. So both the green, yellow, and blue are complete. Yellow has brand-new streets as part of the road improvement program, along with the Catalina work that was done last year. The blue is the Spur 2, and the green was some additional work in the first year of the project. The area that we're going to talk mostly about tonight is the tan area, or the orangey area. Within that project zone, we have the utilities complete in the green areas of the streets with the sacrificial asphalt. Next year, we're going to be paving this area, but we have some asphalt down. You can see some photos at the bottom that I inserted. In the blue area, we have the water mains, and there's some storm mains that were installed in the project. And so those are complete, and the water service transfers are complete as well. That is to the homes on the new water main. So they had to be transferred from the old to the new. We also are taking out the old fire hydrants out of service, and we are working this week and next week to do concrete restorations. So that's like sidewalks or curbs or anywhere that concrete was damaged while they were doing the work. They're working on that. And then the last piece in the project is the asphalt in those areas, as well as landscaping, and that's early October, mid-October range that we'll be doing that. In addition, we're building the third dry detention pond underneath the ComEd lines. The other two are on the west side of Wheeler. This pond will be on the east side, south of the cruise school. Some questions maybe were asked about the project. Why? Why did we do this project? We kind of briefed this a long time ago. But again, the water mains were very old. The ground is very corrosive in that area, so it acts with the pipes, and we've had numerous water main breaks in there. Also, that subdivision was really not designed with any storm basins. What we have been building is in essence some of the area where the water can be stored and then generally release it to the creeks in a natural flow. The cul-de-sacs were actually designed to absorb that water as the old design. And that would fill, and then it would cause flooding for the homes. So all this work has been doing. And also cruise school also had flooding issues as well. So with that, we've been working, and we modeled the site to understand where the water would flow and then address that with storm mains in the project. Somebody asked about, there was some, you can see the image below, some older, smaller softball fields. Those were not used for tournaments or anything like that. It did have some limited use, and the detention ponds were more higher priority. So that's why we installed them there. As well as we installed a very large culvert, box culvert, along Hemlock, which is north of the school, and tying down into a Wheeler. And that will store water as well, not only in the detention pond, but under the street. Another question was, will the bike paths? Yes, that is the last stages when they start to demobilize and clean up the site and work site area. Some paths will be restored. Some people have asked why it's taking so long. It's a very large area. There's a lot of moving parts. And we've been avoiding utilities, doing the tests because we want to make sure it's safe drinking water, installing the hydrants, doing all those connections. We actually projected a 2-year project, Public Works did. But the contractor came, and the actual contract completion is next year. But the contractor came into us and said, I can get this done this year. And they've committed to that this whole time. So they've been very proactive in sending a lot of resources into this project, so that we can get it done, so that we can pave the road next year. So we really appreciate their hard work and trying to get this project done as soon as possible. November is the completion date currently from them. And yes, we will be paving the west side of the streets, the ones that you just saw, the greens and the blues, next spring. We would kick it off with the curbs and sidewalks, any damaged areas, and then we will install the streets at that time. And lastly, how did we kind of postponed Catalina to do the road program because we had to get the utilities in first. And so we really appreciate the residents in Catalina for bearing with us. It's been a long process. It's been 3 years. But we really had to get the utilities done first. And as you can see in our scan, our pavement condition index, the reds and oranges are not good, good conditions. But they've been patient with us as we've been installing the pipes, and then we'll be paving the area boxed in. The blue area was done this year in that box. And then in 27, you can see another area south. We want to address that in 27 as the plan. So that area will capture a couple of the small streets as well, but that way that area in this village will be turning blue in this image in the future. So it's great for that section of the town. And again, thank you for all the patience. Any questions?
Mr. Mayor?
Trustee Healy?
Joel, you said that it seems like the contractor did us a big favor by finishing it, or trying to finish it this year. But
yeah, we sat down, wanted to make sure it was realistic, and it was. And we do.
I didn't hear the name of the contract.
Aries. Aries is a very well-known South Suburban contract. They are the emergency contract for many of the villages in the area as well. So outstanding job.
They've got a great reputation, and and then Seabell also, from reading the report, that Seems like they did a very good job, too.
Yeah, they are our oversight, and they were the designer as well. And they've been very helpful on the site, working through. If there's issues that come up, they address them and make sure that Aries addresses the concerns.
When things go right, they should be applauded.
Yeah. Oh, I do want to mention one thing. I'm sorry, if you 2 minutes more. Larkspur, oops. What's the best way to see it? All right, so the vertical blue, they got double hit. They got both the storm and the pipe. And so we are, if they look to the north, they see green. Look to the south, we did green, and they're like, oh, we got missed. The purpose was we had to schedule it for the school, because the school drop off buses and the cars and so forth. So we had to jump to Hemlock and get the southern street done and pull away from the street like Larkspur to get that done, so that we could accommodate the school schedules. Also, the kids are walking to school, right? We don't want to walk you through construction zones. So, we appreciate Larkspur as they've dealt with having their street torn up much longer than maybe some of the other streets. But that's the reason why. Thank you for 2 more minutes.
Any other comments or questions? The board? Clerk Norwell?
I would just like to say something I know I usually don't, but I've lived in Catalina for more than 30 years. And every year we have had water problems where the water has risen up to my doorstep. It's been so bad. This is the first year it has not. So I applaud Aries, applaud all the work you guys have been done, and we really are appreciative of getting it done. So thank you.
Thank you.
If there's no further comments or questions, there's a motion and a second, correct?
Yes.
Call the roll, please.
Trustee Lawler?
Aye.
Trustee Lieblet?
Aye.
Trustee Lawrence?
Aye.
Trustee Healy?
Aye.
Trustee Katsinas?
Aye.
Trustee Malani?
Aye.
Mayor Dodge?
Aye.
Proceed to development. First, Costco wholesale zoning map amendment.
George, as we get started, I think Steve, there's a guest from Costco. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Would you like to address the board?
Mr. Mayor, just as a point of order, we're going to open up the first case, and then we're going to present all of the information on the next set of cases in one shot, just so that you're aware.
Okay.
We're not going to separate them.
We'll take some comments now.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, Village Trustees. My name is Larry Jurczek. I'm a Costco real estate manager in the Midwest. Looking for my pointer. Excellent. Well, we are very excited to be here tonight. The plans before you, basically we've been working on these plans for over 2 years. We've been consulting with your outside consultants, with your in-house engineers, and we believe we're putting together and putting forth tonight the best plan possible for a gasoline relocation and a parking expansion while improving Ravinia Avenue. I think most of us know, if you are a Costco member, how bad the traffic can be on a Saturday or Sunday or during a holiday event on Ravinia, almost backing up to 159th. I was there for a couple hours today on a Monday afternoon, and it was congested with that turn. So what we've decided to do and what we're planning to do is constructing a roundabout, improving the circulation, not only external of the Costco property, but internal as well. Costco has agreed to fully fund that roundabout, so that is going to be constructed. We'll enter into a development agreement with the village, but it will be funded and constructed by our contractors working closely with your engineering group and office. Let's see. I wanted to present just a high-level presentation, and then we're here to answer questions. I won't go into detail. I think our Plan Commission presentation took almost a half hour. So I think most of us know where the property is located. We're focused on the 6 acres to the east of Ravinia in red. Costco owns all the property in red. We purchased that property, 6 acres, in 2022 with the hope of either relocating our gas or parking. And it was primarily for employees. The employee idea did not go over too well, so we've changed course, pivoted, and we're looking at just gas on that 6-acre piece, which I think works really well. Let's see. I won't get into the requested zoning approvals, but there are several. We will have to rezone the property. Currently, the property is zoned as such where our gas is actually a legal non-conforming use. So we will have to rezone it in order to make that a special or conditional use in the village. There's some other variances that we're seeking, plan of dedication. We're going to dedicate a certain amount of property to the village in order to construct the roundabout. We're also looking for site plan, building elevation, facilities, landscape plan approvals, and of course, a special use permit for buildings over 50,000 square feet. I won't get into any more of these. We could move on to the next slide. So there's several reasons why we're doing this, but primarily it's because of safety. And Costco operations is going back to a lot of our older warehouses, such as this one, and looking at ways to improve parking internally, circulation internally, as well as externally. We want to improve the roads around our properties. And so for the last 4 years, that's what I've been focused on in the Midwest, looking at ways to either acquire property or to expand parking areas, relocating gas, and here we have a perfect example where we've purchased 6 acres of property and relocating the gas. And primarily it's due to safety. So we're actually separating the gas movements, and it can get a little confusing currently there with the queues, the long queues. It mixes in with the parking. So now it's 2 separate amenities, basically, if you will. Gas is on one side, parking is on the other. Existing site plan. Here's our site plan. So you can see the larger roundabout right off of Ravinia. It's providing access in the east-west direction as well as the north-south. It was designed to accommodate future development when Ravinia does extend to LaGrange Road. It's going to accommodate that future development. It's going to accommodate Pulte's development. It's been sized appropriately. It's got adequate radiuses for trucks, turning movements for fuel, emergency vehicles. Your largest village emergency vehicle will be able to make it through the roundabout, of course. And it allows Costco members to get gas, get back to the warehouse, or vice versa. We've also added a lane to the north of the roundabout. So I would refer to it as a slip lane. So it's another way to get in and utilize those north parking lots. We found that the southeast quadrant of the parking area, it fills up pretty quickly. And we're trying to direct a little more traffic, a little more action to the north side of the site. So we think that little slip lane in before the roundabout is going to help us here. Let's see here. Here's a enlarged site plan of the fuel facility. We have 6 pumps today, 6, and that is one of our older models. We're proposing 20 at its maximum capacity. So we are now putting in 20 pumps in most new warehouses throughout the Midwest, if not the country. So 20 is Costco's new standard. It's going to have larger drive lanes, larger bypass lanes, a greater distance of pumps. So when you pull up to a pump, you'll have an easier way to get maneuver if somebody's parked in front of you. A lot has changed in the last 20 years with Costco gas operations. So this will be Costco's best and latest standard model for the village of Orland Park. Elevation's pretty simple. Masonry columns with a flat horizontal roof. It's basically a very horizontal structure, as you can see. We got Costco wholesale on 4 sides of the canopy, and those are just lit with some small LED lighting. Landscape plan. So we spent a great deal of time with the landscaping. I think the property looks really nice today, and so we're basically just going to extend that down 159th across Ravinia, a really nice buffer on the east side. We're going to carry it down Ravinia through the roundabout. We've modeled the circular area after the village's roundabout, so it's going to have some columnar English oaks with some plantings underneath it. We have some stamped asphalt colored to note the pavement areas around the roundabout and some of the other islands. And we're extending the parkway trees and the sidewalk on the east side all the way down to the south end of our 6-acre site. And you could tell by this picture, we cannot develop the 3 acres south of our the roundabout. That's all wetlands, so that's being preserved. No development will occur there, so really, we're limited to the top north 3 acres. So we tried to create an entrance feature at the 159th Ravinia. So we're looking at what we did on the west side of Ravinia. We have these concrete diagonal planters, and we're going to mirror it and make it symmetrical on the east side. So we're picking up the same type of canopies and ornamental trees, and I think it looks beautiful. Our landscape architect spent a great deal of time. We worked with staff and your outside consultant on the plant material. We're also providing a very heavy buffer on the east side as well. So we're meeting all landscape requirements on the north, south, and west sides. I won't get into any more detail with the roundabout. We could talk about that. Traffic improvements. I do have my traffic engineer. I won't get into all the specifics, but if you have questions, we could always answer those. And that's a lot of reading, which I will not be doing. So with that, I'm going to conclude my presentation. We're here to answer questions. I have my civil engineer here as well to answer any stormwater questions.
First, we called the other, but we didn't have a motion or a second for the zoning map amendment.
Mr. Mayor,
Trustee Lawler?
I make a motion regarding case number 2025-0719, Costco wholesale zoning map amendment. I move to approve the Plan Commission recommended action as presented for this case. And I move to adopt an ordinance entitled Ordinance Rezoning Certain Real Estate from Core Mixed Use to Business Costco-9913 and 9915 West 159th Street.
Second.
So motion, a second. Any comments or questions from the board?
Mr. Chairman,
Trustee Malani?
just a quick question on the flow to get into the fueling area. How does that actually work? Are you going around the east side and then coming back down from the north?
Yes. We provided a really lengthy queue along the east property line. So you come into the far east, you swing around, go to the north, and then turn and go south and exit to the south in a counterclockwise direction.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now I see. I thought that's what it was. I couldn't really tell.
Yeah, I should have pointed that out of which direction. It's a little difficult to tell what's front, what's back on this. Yeah.
And this is probably a question for staff. Will this complete Ravinia Avenue and connect with the other piece, or we're still going to have that one section that's incomplete?
That's a separate effort, and we'll give you a quick presentation on that as well.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions or comments? Call the roll, please.
Trustee Lawler.
Aye.
Trustee Leaflet.
Aye.
Trustee Lawrence.
Aye.
Trustee Healy.
Aye.
Trustee Katsinas.
Aye.
Trustee Malani.
Aye.
Mayor Dodge.
Aye.
Thank you.
Proceeding with Costco Wholesale, Ravinia Avenue Roundabout Plat of Dedication.
Mr. Chairman,
Trustee Malani?
regarding case number 2025-0720, also known as Costco Wholesale, Ravinia Avenue Plat of Dedication, I move to approve a plat of dedication titled Plat of Dedication of Ravinia Avenue, subject to the final copy of the plat being printed on Mylar and submitted to the village with non-village related signatures ready for recording at the Cook County Recorder of Deeds Office, and authorize staff to execute and record the plat.
Second.
The motion, a second. Any comments or questions? Call the roll, please.
Trustee Malani. Trustee Katsinas.
Aye.
Trustee Lawrence.
Aye.
Trustee Lawler.
Aye.
Trustee Leaflet.
Aye.
Trustee Healy.
Aye.
Mayor Dodge.
Aye.
We'll proceed to Costco Wholesale, special use permit for motor vehicle services for Lot 1, which is the tire center.
Mr. Mayor,
Trustee Lawrence?
I make a motion regarding case number 2025-0718, also known as Costco Wholesale Special Use Permit for motor vehicle services. I move to approve the Plan Commission recommended action as presented for this case, and I move to adopt an ordinance entitled Ordinance Granting a Special Use for Motor Vehicle Services, Costco Wholesale Warehouse 9915 West 159th Street.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. Comments, questions? Call the roll.
Trustee Lawrence.
Aye.
Trustee Lawler.
Aye.
Trustee Leafblat. Aye. Trustee Healy.
Aye.
Trustee Katsinas.
Aye.
Trustee Malani.
Aye.
Mayor Dodge.
Aye.
Proceed to Costco Wholesale, special use permit for motor vehicle services for Lot 2, the gas station.
Mr. Mayor?
Trustee Lawler.
I move to make a motion regarding case number 2025-0735, also known as Costco Wholesale, special use permit for motor vehicle services for Lot 2 gas station. I move to approve the Plan Commission recommended action as presented for this case. And I move to adopt an ordinance entitled Ordinance Granting a Special Use for Motor Vehicle Services, Costco Gas Station at 9913 West 159th Street.
Second.
Motion and a second. Questions or comments? Call the roll.
Trustee Lawler.
Aye.
Trustee Lawrence.
Aye.
Trustee Leafblat.
Aye.
Trustee Healy.
Aye.
Trustee Katsinas.
Aye.
Trustee Malani.
Aye.
Mayor Dodge.
Aye.
Costco Wholesale, 9915 West 159th Street, development petition for fuel facility relocation and parking improvements.
Mr. Chairman,
Trustee Malani.
regarding case number 2025-0348, also known as Costco Wholesale Gas Station Relocation and Parking Improvements, I move to approve the Plan Commission recommended action as presented for this case, and I move to adopt an ordinance entitled Ordinance Granting a Special Use with Modifications for a Planned Development and Disturbance of a Non-Tidal Wetland, Costco Wholesale 9913 through 9915, 159th Street.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. Any comments or questions? Call the roll.
Trustee Malani. Trustee Katsinas.
Aye.
Trustee Lawrence.
Aye.
Trustee Lawler.
Aye.
Trustee Leafblat.
Aye.
Trustee Healy.
Aye.
Mayor Dodge.
Aye.
We'll proceed to,
I think that's it.
oh,
I think that's it for Costco, right, Steve?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you for what you're doing. Appreciate the expansion in Orland Park. Glad you are as successful as you have been. Appreciate it.
okay.
Go ahead.
Ordinance for eminent domain of 17171 Wolf Road, former El Cortez property.
Mr. Mayor,
Trustee Healy.
I move to adopt an ordinance entitled, An Ordinance Authorizing Acquisition of Property by Eminent Domain, former El Cortez property, 17171 Wolf Road.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. Any comments or questions? Call the roll, please.
Trustee Healy.
Aye.
Trustee Leafblat.
Aye.
Trustee Lawrence.
Aye.
Trustee Lawler.
Aye.
Trustee Katsinas.
Aye.
Trustee Malani.
Aye.
Mayor Dodge.
Aye.
Engineering. Estates of Ravinia Meadows bond request.
Mr. Mayor,
Trustee Katsinas.
I move to approve the use of a bond as development security by Pulte Homes LLC for the Estates of Ravinia Meadows project in accordance with the codes and ordinance of the Village of Orland Park.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. Any comments or questions from the board?
Mr. Mayor,
Trustee Healy.
I have seen, in my experience, bond companies can range from very good ones to very, and other ones are more secure than others. I would have to assume this is going to be a reputable bonding company, but do we review that as part of our, we just don't take any old bond, I hope we.
That's correct. Our bonding requirements require AA+, so it has to be a company that's rated that way.
Okay, well, good. Thank you.
Any other questions or comments? There's a motion and a second.
Trustee Katsinas. Trustee Leafblat.
Aye.
Trustee Lawrence.
Aye.
Trustee Lawler.
Aye.
Trustee Healy.
Aye.
Trustee Malani.
Aye.
Mayor Dodge.
Aye.
Recreation. Early voting memorandum of understanding.
Mr. Mayor,
Trustee Leafblat.
I move to approve entering into a memorandum of understanding between the Village of Orland Park and Cook County, allowing the use of the village's Civic Center for early voting as detailed in the MOU Exhibits A and B, and authorize the village manager to execute all related contracts subject to village attorney review.
Second.
So motion and a second, just before we ask for comments. Thrilled that we could work something out with Cook County to keep early voting in this location, Orland Park. So it's moving from Orland Township to an Orland Park facility at the next election cycle. Any other comments or questions from the board members? Call the roll, please.
Trustee Leaflet? Aye. Trustee Lawrence?
Aye.
Trustee Lawler?
Aye.
Trustee Healy?
Aye.
Trustee Katsinas?
Aye.
Trustee Malani?
Aye.
Mayor Dodge.
Aye.
Evergreen View Park, OSLAD Grant Application Conceptual Plan.
Mr. Mayor,
Trustee Lawrence?
I move to approve the conceptual plan that does not include a splash pad as part of the village's 2026 Open Space Lands Acquisition and Development Grant for the redevelopment of Evergreen View Park, and authorize the village manager to execute all related contracts subject to village attorney review.
Second.
So motion and a second. Any comments or questions?
Mr. Mayor,
Trustee Healy?
I'd like to ask George, what happened to that $600,000 grant for Dugan Park?
It's still on track. We have not lost that grant. And when we had that conversation about pickleball, the only thing the state said is our project has to be more than 600,000, and it's way more than that. So
Okay, so we're still good with that?
Yeah, we're still good.
All right, thank you.
Yep.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Any other comments or questions? So just making sure everybody in the audience heard what we said. So we're not going to put in the splash pad at the park. So we're going to move forward with the planning. There's a motion and a second. Call the roll, please.
Trustee Lawrence?
Aye.
Trustee Leaflet?
Aye.
Trustee Lawler?
Aye.
Trustee Healy?
Aye.
Trustee Katsinas?
Aye.
Trustee Malani?
Aye.
Mayor Dodge.
Aye.
This time we will proceed to non-scheduled citizens and visitors for public comment on items relevant to village business.
Is there anybody who would like to address the board? Just come up and state your name, sir. Give you 3 minutes.
Yeah, hi, I'm Dan Pullman. I'm a village citizen. And pursuant to the park that we just talked about, I have concerns because my home is quite close to that park, and I share the concerns of the previous speaker about noise, congestion, that pickleball and other certain activities might bring into our area. And I'd just like to express that concern and hope that everybody considers the direct neighbors that are right next to and adjacent to the park and the impact that that's going to have on our quality of life in terms of congestion, noise, and at least perhaps some study could be made about the impact in the surrounding community, including parking. Thank you.
You're welcome. Ray, you have all those comments? Okay, thanks. There's no one else to address the board. We'll call for board comments. Trustee Healy?
Mr. Mayor, I got a couple of questions for, I still have a couple of questions. We're all aware of the death of Charlie Kirk. I was a big fan of his. I respected the guy a lot for what he's done. am saddened about his death, and I'm angered by the situation that's come on with that. When you see people with bad mouthing, one of the things you learn as a young adult or as a teenager is you don't badmouth the dead, and what we've seen is a lot of that going on. And I just don't know, these are supposed to be adults doing this, and I don't know what's wrong with these people. They should be more mature and more considerate of each other. It's pretty sad to see. Charlie was a good role model. He had a good role model, someone to follow for his principles and his methods. He was a conservative. He was a Christian, a family man, and a patriot, and not afraid to talk about any of those subjects. Method was a direct discussion. He invited discussion. He wanted free and open discussion of the difficult issues of today. And so I'm just very saddened at that. And then now I'm just confused by why we were, what this flag at half-staff thing. I just have to get it off my chest. Where was Charlie's name in that announcement? I didn't, by the village, it seemed like the presidential announcement we were following included Charlie Kirk's name, but ours, for some reason, you alluded to September 11th. I'm looking at George just because I imagine you did, you were the one who authorized this, or, it's, being the village manager. I'm just offended that this Orland Park voted by a wide margin for Trump for president. And Kirk is obviously a Trump person. Why would you offend, the greater half of your village by not including that name as appeasement to the progressives? I'm totally against that. I'm not afraid to say things, and it seems like I just don't understand the reticence to do that. I'm shocked and appalled, and there's no going back on it now, but I think it's a sore spot, and it's just, I'm just kind of offended by how that all went down.
Thank you for your comments, Trustee Healy. Trustee Katsinas?
First of all, I'd like to congratulate our 2 new sergeants that were promoted, and to see the 7 new officers that are starting in our department. Very nice to see, meet their family. One guy has 3 boys, and he just had a set of twins. He's one busy family man. I just want to do a brief remembrance on September 11th. We lost a lot of lives that day. The bravery of the first responders, and the resilience that brought our nation together. We will never forget. I would also like to say a few comments on the memory of Charlie Kirk. Charlie's journey began in a neighboring community. From local roots, he went on to form Turning Point USA, which grew into one of the most influential organizations in our country. His vision was clear: to engage young people, to inspire them to value freedom, limited government, free markets, and the founding principles of our nation. What made Charlie so unique was his ability to connect. He had the energy that drew people in, a conviction that stirred conversation, and a determination that built a lasting movement. He often spoke about the importance of civil involvement, encouraging young Americans not to sit on the sidelines, but to take part in shaping the future of their country. Whether you agree with him on every issue or not, his commitment to his beliefs and his tireless work to advance them commands respect. Charlie's passing not only is a loss to those who knew him personally, but to a movement and a generation of our youth that were inspired. His life reminds us that even from a small community, in a small storefront in Lamont, Illinois, a single voice can reach an entire nation. May his legacy continue to encourage civil participation and a deep respect for the values that made our nation strong. I'd also like to say, sad to hear of the passing of our former Illinois Governor, Jim Edgar. Governor Edgar was a leader who was respected on both sides. He is remembered for his integrity, his steadfast leadership, and his commitment to education, and more importantly, fiscal responsibility. I extend my condolences to his family and the legacy of his service to our state. I'm sure our chairman will have more to say. Thank you.
Thank you. Trustee Malani?
Just like to reiterate, congratulations to the sergeants that were recently promoted, and, welcome to the 7 new members of our police department. It's great to see that we're growing, and, that you guys are churning out some quality candidates. So great job there. Also, congratulations to the 25 and 30-year veterans here in the village. It was great to see the longevity and the dedication they have to the village of Orland Park. One other thing, because, wow, we're almost in October. The Great Pumpkin Party that we have every year is coming up on October 4th at Centennial Park. That is something you can get information on our website, and you can also get a link there to buy your tickets online as well. So it's always well attended, pretty busy day, so definitely get your tickets while you can. So thank you all for coming, and have a great night.
Trustee Leafblad?
So I'm the fourth person going with, which means everybody else has said everything. But I just, I am extremely grateful and happy and excited for the officers that have joined Orland Park's Police Department or have, and for those who have been promoted. In addition, when you look at the list, it was a good long list of Orland Park employees that have been here for 10 years or more, and I thank them for their dedication because there is so much that they do that the residents of Orland Park do not see. I mean, the village staff works so hard, and they do it because they are dedicated to their jobs, and they do wonderful work, and you see it every day around you. So, you know, I thank them. And also, I always want to thank the residents who come forward and talk about things, because we need to know what you think and how you feel. We need to, because otherwise, it's not possible for us to make wise decisions, wise informed decisions, without knowing how it's going to affect people in their everyday lives. And thank you to Costco. I'm a member, love it. So, I'm so excited you're moving that gas station. So, you know, thank you to everybody.
Thanks, Trustee Lawler?
I just want to reiterate some of the comments other people made. Congratulations to all the new police officers. And thank you for all the hard work from the employees that have been here 10 plus years as well. Again, Costco, great to have you guys here. You bring a lot to the community. I also want to acknowledge that we added a lot of people to our citizen advisory committees this week and at the last meeting. We had a lot of people apply for them, and I'm excited to get them going and listen to some new ideas from residents, and looking forward to working with them.
Trustee Lawrence?
I have just two comments. I'll cover different areas. One going back to the consent agenda, item F. When we have special use permits and we have events that bring a lot of people and that create a lot of noise compared to what residents are used to, I hope that will ensure that those who are holding the permit are respecting the times. We had gotten some complaints for excessively going past permitted times. And I got a text from a resident who had previously had a concern regarding lateness well beyond the permitted time. So I'm just hoping that the sponsor and the village also will be on top of respecting the residents, because this particular one looks like 1,000 people per day. That one maybe could be noisier than usual. Anyway, on the other one, this is regarding Costco. We had a number of line items, a lot going on there. And as any Costco member knows, parking is a premium almost all the time, not just on weekends. We're delighted at the new plan and how there's a lot of extra parking created, and that the gasoline part is being brought over to a separate area. The fact that you're covering the cost of the road improvements, of the roundabout, and all that beautiful landscaping that will be nice for the people who visit, as well as for our natural environment. So I just want to thank you. In case residents don't know, Orland Park generates about $400 million, maybe a little more, in grocery sales. That results in a lot of taxes that people pay. Costco is number one by far, contributing to that. So for all of the good products that you have, for all the ease of just having to go a few times a month instead of every week, That's a great convenience, and so I welcome you, and I look forward to the building this out. Thank you for working so well with our staff in that regard.
Thank you for that. There's a lot, we actually had a short agenda tonight, so we're out of here at 8 o'clock, which is kind of remarkable for our last couple of meetings, but we had a lot of big things done. Again, tip of the hat to Costco, thank you. Wish you, obviously, all the continued success. As my associates and fellow board members said, really proud to see the number of people who have been working for the village for a long time. I think that speaks a lot about the culture that we are going to rebuild and to try and maintain in a healthy way. And just thrilled to see, police officers, young police officers. The chief and I were saying, it's like, okay, is it us or they look really young? So you got to notice that when you're doing these swearing-ins, but we're thrilled to have them here. And again, just thank you broadly to staff. As John said, we're making progress on our citizens advisory boards, and to the folks who came up without Evergreen, we want to make sure that going forward, people hear and understand that this board is going to find every conceivable way to make sure that we're engaging with our customers. I use that term deliberately as opposed to just residents or taxpayers. That has a cold bureaucratic feel to it, and we're trying to cultivate and inculcate a culture of customer service at Orland Park. So we're looking forward to that. And then I'll close just with some personal comments about Governor Jim Edgar. Recently, I came through the Edgar's Fellow program, which is just a phenomenal program. And it was great to reconnect with the governor, because in the Wayback Machine, I first met him when he was Secretary of State on the way to governor. So I have a lot of fond memories about a great public servant. And in one of the speeches he gave just recently, before this latest unfortunate turn, he said, always, if you're in public office, always remember you're there to help people and solve problems. And his formula, if you want to call that, he was quite proud of what he called the 3 C's, which is civility in all of your dealings, even with people that you might have an idea where you're diametrically opposed to just be civil about the whole thing. And collaboration with everybody, because that will lead to compromise. And in Jim Edgar's world, compromise wasn't a dirty word. It wasn't a pejorative term. It was a way to get things done, which spoke volumes of the man. And then finally, compassion. He had a number of great stories about how, through his entire public career, he would work in compassion. Back to that, you're there to help people and solve problems. So, it's unfortunate with this untimely passing. And it was, quite easy for us to say yes. We were waiting, quite frankly, for a directive from the governor, but there is no question that we should keep the flags lowered at half-staff in honor of a great Illinois elected official and public servant. So again, condolences to the Edgar family, and he will be sorely missed. We need more people like Jim Edgar in Illinois politics, for sure. With that, I think we have an executive session. We do. So we'll need a motion to go into executive session for pending and/or probable litigation.
Mr. Mayor,
Trustee Leaflet?
I move to go into executive session for regarding pending litigation
Pending or probable?
and probable litigation.
Second.
So motion and a second. Any comments or questions? Call the roll, please.
Trustee Leaflet?
Aye.
Trustee Lawler?
Aye.
Trustee Lawrence?
Aye.
Trustee Healy?
Aye.
Trustee Katsinas?
Aye.
Trustee Malani?
Aye.
Mayor Dodge?
Aye.
It is now 7:58. We are adjourning for executive session.
Have a good evening.